Hello everyone, Jeff here. I do apologize for not having a video over the weekend. For those that don't follow along on the Discord or who didn't see the message on antiliagame.com, unfortunately, I did work all day on a video Saturday, but it did not work out in the end. When it came time to edit the thing together, it started to become obvious that some of the footage I captured needed retakes, and a lot of the editing was just, it'd become too much, and it was getting pretty late in the evening, and I was starting to realize, well, it wasn't coming together the way I'd hoped. So I'm going to give that another go next weekend. I think the subject of that video is pretty important. I want to do a sort of a recap of what we've accomplished in the first 6 months of 2018. So I'll give that another go this weekend, but I did want to give you a video update for the week. So what I'm going to do, since I can't lose another day to video production, I'm just going to do one of these videos where I'm going to continue working on Antilia, and I'm going to do some programming and development here, and just kind of give you my thoughts to the webcam as I go. So that'll allow me to put a video up so that we're not falling behind on our video updates, but without putting us behind a whole day as far as development. So I'm working on the structure editor right now. I'm doing a bit of compiling. I'm adding modes to the structure editor so that we can have different edit modes, wall, foundation, that sort of thing. I need a good framework for that before I can make really good progress, I think. It's kind of the next big step. So I'm just going to work on whatever needs to be done next. Right now it needs to be these kind of structure editing modes, and I'm also going to work on a grid, some sort of grid that when we're moving our mouse around can help us align walls and whatnot. So as you can see, there's been a few minor updates to the editor since we saw it last. I've added this little 3D structure here. It's real primitive. It's just a temporary measure. And the idea is that to go into different modes to edit, say, the foundation or the walls or the roof or doors or windows, you would hover over and those elements would highlight. You click on them, that would take you into door mode. You might click on a wall, that would take you into wall edit mode, that sort of thing. I'm still experimenting with this. I'll probably use the structure renderer itself to generate this in the end. But for now, it was easier to just model this with different submeshes, because then I can very easily distinguish what element is which. So for the next step, I want to get a sort of grid working that will show the extents of the property, and also it'll have a lot of features that we'll use for the editor itself. Assuming they appear at all, so let's see, cross your fingers. Looks like we got nothing. Data size is significant, data size significant, unlock. I would think that would have worked. Oh, we don't set up the render operation, okay. There's our grid, start of a grid. Let's try this shader real quick. It might give us a little better what we're looking for. See what I mean? Like, even if it's behind the walls, we still see, that's what that partially occluded thing does. But if it's not behind the walls, they're brighter. And if they're behind, they aren't. Starting to look a bit more like I'd imagined it. Let's get the mouse feature working with the highlighting. Now let's actually get it snapped to grid. That would be kind of cool, right? Now it actually snaps to the specific grid intersection points. And this is, the reason I did this is going to be important when it comes time to like draw out a wall. You click here, you draw it out. But I also want to do the same thing with tiles. I want a different behaving one that snaps to the center and actually is like a little square or something that says, oh, you've got this square. Then when you're like setting the floor tile or setting a foundation type, you can just grab on one of these and draw out a rectangle and have all those get changed. I'm sorry, this is real boring. Basically all I did was make this grid. I I would like to show the shading feature, the custom shader, but that's going to take a while. I don't know if I have time to do that. Should I try for it? Because it would be kind of cool. Let's do it. Let's do it. So now the mouse does its thing. When it's in range, the indicator is blue, and when it goes out of range, it turns yellow. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, actually. Turning out, it could still use more room for could use more improvement still, but overall, I'm pretty happy with this. I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. I know it was kind of boring. I wasn't really expecting to do a video about this, but I thought I'd put something together. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you'll tune in next time. See you then. A special thanks goes to this month's Patreon supporters. If you'd like to support the project, you can do so by visiting www.patreon.com/Antilia.